Hello, welcome to the August edition of the Executive Director Update. This is a brief recap of things happening within the organization. Let's get started with a snapshot of our financials. This is through July 31. We'll start at the top half, the income side of things. We are well behind in sponsorships, contributions, and grants, and this is going to be a consistent problem through the end of the year, though we are working on securing more sponsors, but it will not be enough to close the gap. Looking at the interest earned line item, you can see that we're ahead of budget, and that will continue through the year and get even better. In April, we moved $600,000 from the checking into money market accounts and put them into 3 different short-term CDs, and that is to take advantage of the higher interest rates. Moving to the expense side of things, we are better than budget right now. That should continue through year-end, which will help us deal with the income shortage. But we need people to register for the symposium because we do not want to incur a hotel penalty because we didn't have enough people staying at the hotel to meet our contract commitment. The next couple of months will tell us a lot about where we will end the year. As I mentioned, we are working on getting sponsor commitments. AIB Treasurer Marvin Miller and I recently attended the large Cultivate trade show in Columbus, which brings together thousands of people from the horticulture industry. Marvin and I thanked our current sponsors and talked to other companies about becoming a sponsor. So now we're doing the follow-up that's necessary, and we'll continue those discussions with companies about becoming more involved with us. Additionally, AIB had a table at the recent Ball Customer Days, which is a great way to showcase what we are doing. We appreciate Ball Horticultural Company giving us space each year to display materials at that event they have. We have 3 fundraising events coming up that are important opportunities for us to raise money. The silent auction will happen at the symposium. An online auction opens in September and closes in mid-October. And then we have our popular raffle. You'll be hearing more about each of these in the coming weeks. We need them to be very successful, so please consider supporting each. So let's move on to the fun stuff, our programs. I'm going to provide just a brief update on each of them. We'll start with the level programs. So far we have 6 communities in level 1, 2 communities in level 2, and 34 paid communities in level 3. However, we only visited 31 this year. 1 community is in the Lake County, Florida chapter, so they paid a fee to remain in the chapter but did not want advisors to visit. And 2 communities unfortunately canceled at the very last moment right before the advisors were set to travel, so we kept their registration fee. All the advisor visits have been completed, so the teams are feverishly working on their evaluation reports and award nominations. I've heard nothing but great things from communities this year about our advisors and the experience they had. This is great news and just continues to show that our advisors are really rock stars. Here on your screen are just a handful of snapshots from some of the advisors during their visits. Please, I want to draw your attention to the bottom right picture, which is Galen Gates and Lori Lafferty. They got to experience a very unique thing. They were the only ones on their plane, and they sure got a kick out of that. Moving on to the symposium, it's September 28th through the 30th in Spartanburg and Greenwood, South Carolina. Greenwood is known for its incredible topiaries. Typically, the topiaries are back in the city greenhouse in September, but Greenwood is going to keep about 30 of them out for us so that we can see them when we visit that community. This is going to be amazing. Please make sure that you register and get your hotel room reserved by September 4th. The Awards Review Committee is meeting later this month to select the winners of various awards, except the population category awards, which are determined by the advisor's scores. The Awards Review Committee will decide the YouTube Video Award. This is a change from recent years. This year, the $1,500 YouTube prize money will be determined by the committee. We will still have the People's Choice vote, but that will be simply for bragging rights. We want the cash award prize to go to the video that supports our goal of explaining how AIB is impacting their town. We will have the Dwight Lund Community Champion Award again this year. We have 13 nominations. I've read all the nominations, and it's going to be another tough year on determining that winner. Vivian Lund, wife of Dwight Lund, for whom the award is named, is going to be at the symposium to announce the winner. Vivian is in her 90s, but she's still very active and wants to continue coming to the symposium as long as she is able. It will be great to have her there. Moving on to the grant program we have with Canadian National Railroad. Marvin Miller and I are hitting the road next week. We'll be visiting 9 communities in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois for their required media events to celebrate the grant. CN will have a representative at most of those events. And thank you to Marvin for his willingness to spend the time and the energy to do these really important events. You know, we're doing some really great work with our programs. We just need more communities to be involved with them. We continue to try to spread the message about AIB. And one of the new ways that we're doing that this year is by holding AIB summits in 3 communities, which really, the goal is to bring together regional leaders to learn about AIB and how a community is using the AIB program. We have a summit coming up August 10th in Hawthorne Woods, Illinois, then in September in Edmonston, Maryland. Our first summit was held in June in Logan, Ohio. We did a bus tour of the incredible pollinator trail they have there, and then I did a presentation about AIB. That was held at the theater that they're working to restore. And then we had a really nice reception at the local brewery and winery. It was a great way to share the AIB message and showcase what Logan is doing and how Logan has really embraced the AIB program and has experiencing so many wonderful things there in that community. Let's finish up by making sure you have your calendars marked for upcoming board meetings. We have the October 1 meeting in South Carolina as part of the symposium. We will meet from 8 a.m. to 12 noon that day, and that should allow everyone time to travel home. We have a Zoom meeting on December 12th at noon Eastern Time. Then we're meeting in Orlando in February 15 and 16 for our annual meeting. And the next year's symposium's board meeting will be September 29th, and that is in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you so much for all you're doing for American Bloom. Looking forward to seeing everyone at the symposium.